to add to the program that jumpstart your career. I'm Counsel and I'm the moderator today. I'm the co-chair of the Living Committee that actually across the several committees, including real estate, young learners, immigration, student outreach. And so I actually really wanted to let this speak today follow this discussion and leave a little time for questions afterwards because I'm sure you guys are all interested in the presentation of people how to discuss their experiences. And so actually I want to introduce yourself and maybe give a little bit of a informal bio. And so our first speaker is Vanessa, who is an immigration coordinator here. So a little bit about yourself.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Vanessa Turan, and my firm is Vanessa Armstrong Law, PLC. I practice business immigration, and I started my firm about 2 years ago. My anniversary is coming up April 15, 2011. And, it's been an interesting experience. I started off at a small business immigration firm, and I worked up to a corporate immigration firm, and then I opened my practice. It's been a wonderful experience, just growing from starting off with a virtual office being very small, and then moving on to a full-time office.
And next is Margaret Lang.
Hi, I'm Margaret Lang. I'm the board of directors of aabany, and I also chair the real estate committee. I think I'm proud to say I'm one senior person on the panel, so I have a lot of war stories that I can share with all of you. I was telling Anthony when I graduated here in law school, I had every intention to be an immigration attorney. That's what I was focusing to high school. And probably 2 years out, I'm close to the 7th district. I was very frustrated with working with 26 Federal Plaza, having my clients deported, and my parents in 1986 in the military school said, "Why don't you become a real estate attorney?" At which point my response was, "I never taken a course in law school," which is a testament that almost 30 years later, this is my career, this is my specialty. I started 10 years in private practice. I worked with somebody briefly, and then 10 years in private practice, sole practitioner real estate. And in 1995, became in-house corporate counsel at several Fortune 500 companies. I specialize in title insurance on the underwriter level. Currently, I'm vice president of title. And I've been actively involved in nationwide for the last 3 years. And I'm so glad to get to the conference. I don't want to be long, but have fun with it.
And next is Vincent Holt.
I'm probably, to preface, I'm probably one of the more junior lawyers on this panel. I started my career at Bingham McCutcheon in the New York offices as a litigator in securities litigation, and I recently, just less than a year ago, moved over to Citigroup Global Markets in their legal department, specifically in their regulatory enforcement group. So what regulatory enforcement does is handle all of Citigroup's enforcement-related matters, meaning investigations, sweeps, or inquiries coming from regulators such as the SEC, FINRA, the New York Stock Exchange, and also occasionally from the DOJ and other state regulators. I suppose that's it. I'm also co-chair of the Young Lawyers section here, so if you have any questions afterwards, you can ask me about that too.
Hey guys, my name is Kelvin Chen. I just started with the Federal Trade Commission about 4 months ago. Before that, I worked in private practice in large firms for about 6 years. I started my career with Cadwalader, Wickersham & Taft, and I moved to Morrison & Foerster after 3 years there. I worked at Mopo for about 4 years before coming over to the Federal Trade Commission. At the firms, my work was essentially large firm litigation. I did securities defense, general commercial lit, and some copyright work. At the FTC, we sued people that defraud poor people. So I was pretty excited about that when I actually remember asking the regional director what his mission was, and it was protecting people's last dollars. And I didn't get the job that time, and so I applied a year later when the position opened back up, and I wrote them a crazy letter about how I was excited to crush people that would take money from poor people. And you can feel free to ask more questions in the Q&A, but I guess crazy cover letters work. That's it for me.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jason Mackey. I'm currently a partner at Counsel. I've been in practice for 10.5 years or so, which surprises the judges when I'm in front of, because I have a baby face, which isn't really good sometimes. I pretty much run the gamut of my practice. I started out through the New York City Law Department as a assistant corporation counsel, where I did federal civil rights litigation. I went from there to a mid-sized law firm called Zeichner, Ullman & Krauss. Zeichner, Ullman & Krauss did banking work, which sounded great, but it's just as gruntish as every other kind of litigation that you do. But it was a really great platform. And then I moved to another larger firm. I was there where I did commercial and bankruptcy litigation, and realized after about 9 years that I didn't like being a lawyer. So I opened up my own law firm and found out that I liked being a lawyer. I just didn't like working for people all the time. I had my own firm for about 5 months where I did commercial litigation and bankruptcy work, and was really in the trenches. It was a great experience because I learned a lot about how hard and how scrappy you have to be, and really how it doesn't matter where you come from as long as you present well and work hard at your cases. And after about 5 months, I was contacted by my current firm, Counsel. They needed someone that could do bankruptcy and could do state court litigation because they had a mixture of both, as well as some finance that was based around distressed debt. So I went from someone that had a kind of weird, all over the chart career to being the exact person they needed to help them really spool up their New York office, which is what I've been doing for the past year. So currently I do what I've always done. I litigate, and I do a smattering of everything. It's commercial litigation, it's commercial foreclosures, and it's bankruptcy work. And it's been a wonderful ride, and I was glad that I took all the moves that I did because I found that I was very happy doing being a lawyer. And sometimes it takes all of that time and all of these crazy moves to find out where you are and what you like to do. I guess that's my life.
So I think that everyone here has kind of a non-traditional path. I'm wondering about that. Can you give us an example of, a time when you really faced a challenge and how you overcame that and then restarted your career after that?
I probably should talk because the real estate industry has been so rocky road since before Warner Brothers. I have seen a level, some of the, I was discussing with colleagues, some of my mentors and senior VPs have been unemployed for like 3 years, and they were my chief underwriting counsel. It's been a survival mode, rather. I use the word Darwinian at times. And when Anton approached me saying outside the box, you really have to. I am unique because I was always a counsel in the office. I get there at 6 o'clock in the morning, works like crazy, and when mergers were happening, I've been through several mergers in the last 4 years, I'd say. And I was able to anticipate when it was coming, to jump off right away, to go get the next job. Some people I noticed I worked with were in denial. They thought they would make it through. There was one company, 14 lawyers got slashed in a matter of hours, and some of them were my bosses. So, it's kind of like, it's hard to predict. One job I had in my industry, we have employment contracts, and you're like 2 years. So one of them, 4 years ago, I was coming to terms without a month, and my boss, I went to law school with him, he has law school, and you'd think that he would answer my emails. I'm emailing him politely, and the company is in the midst of a merger and a takeover as well. I brought in a lot of business. The other thing is, because I'm Asian, the nature of what I do, the real estate market is vibrant, so I'm able to gain clients. And you would think that that would be a shoo-in for me, but actually it didn't. Corporate America, I worked at Fidelity Title, which is headquartered in Jacksonville, assumed that my clients could have been assigned over to anybody. So given that scenario, that it didn't look good and my emails are not being responded to, I jumped off to another company immediately. And a week after I resigned, 10 of my colleagues were let go. So, it's something that people ask me. Basically, I've been lucky with my job. I told younger attorneys I've never had to apply for one. My network is very vast. If I know something's coming, I make a lot of phone calls. I call my mentors. I can't impart to all of you not how important that network is, and give a young man to establish the business. I never had to apply for a job. Some people like the job I have now. There's a colleague I know 25 years just approached me and said, we'll create a position for you. You have to be able to bring something to the table. I keep punching his head. I tell law students now, sitting in front of your laptop is not going to sufficiently get you a position. my parents were, my father's a doctor. When I was in college, he already had business partners, so I knew how to network early in my career while. So it's very, very, very important. But it is for me to sit here as a real estate attorney, I think Jason may understand that it is a very difficult time for attorneys in general, and I've been in the field for over 25 years, but number of teams for coaching and for real estate, I'm not discouraging them, but I'm telling them to look for a different niche. And I can collaborate on that more on an individual level with the team. That's the only way you're going to get it.
Anyone else?
So, I'll speak briefly. I really jump-started my career. The first time I really jump-started was when I left to open up my own firm. Because up until that point, wherever I worked, people gave me work. I always tried to go out and develop business, but I didn't really understand how much time I had maybe wasted, maybe didn't act effectively by not going out to events like this enough and just meeting and talking to people. Because when I was out on my own, I realized all of a sudden I said, oh my God, I'm out on my own. I need to talk to people. If I don't talk to people, then no one's going to talk to me. It's not like I had somebody next door. There was no community around me to do anything. And so I got motivated. I made sure that I was out of the office doing one thing each day with somebody that I wouldn't normally associate with. So I would meet anybody for coffee anywhere. I went to a cigar shop until I couldn't breathe right because there's smoke in there and it's not really healthy. And I got 2 clients out of going there, believe it or not, 4 times. I found that you could really, as long as you just presented yourself and you were available to receive it, there was stuff out there in places you would never expect. And that's what I did, and that's what I still do. And now, it's kind of taken me out of my office shell that you can have when you work at a big firm or any firm. I'm sure everybody here can understand that. You're not just sitting there writing down your billable hours. You're going out, whether it's doing something like finding an event or a cause that you believe in. It doesn't have to be serious. It could just be something that you like with friends. It could be comic books. It could be going to a gym that's interactive, like a martial art in a nice place. You never know where you're going to meet somebody and when it's going to come in handy. So you just have to go out there and just talk to people. And that's what I did, and I still do it every day. Even though I work for a 500-plus attorney firm, it doesn't mean that I don't have to actually go out and do it, because if I don't, nothing's going to come in the door. And that's how I jump-started my career, and I remind myself to do it every day.
So go ahead. I think Jason mentioned something that's really key. I think it's really great to network, and that word is overused a lot, but I think it's really good to network when you absolutely don't need anything. When you don't need any help, you don't need if you're not looking for a position, it's really good to build your network then if you're at that time in your career, because then when the instance comes that you do need something, that you are looking to move somewhere else, then that's not the first time that you're reaching out to people, because people are less receptive if you haven't spoken to them in a couple of years, and when you're looking for something, that's when you'll just email them out of the blue. And I think it's a really good idea to just network for the sake of networking, because whether it be today or 2 years from now, someday you might be able to draw upon those people.
It's funny, so I'm going to be the foil here, and part of this is because I had a different sort of background. And so speaking from the context of large firms, like assuming that you're already in a large firm position, I actually think that in sort of the merits of balancing your time, it's really more about the time you put into the firm rather than what you do outside of the 4 corners. And a large part of that is because in the large firms, you've got billable hour rates of like $500 or $600 an hour, and so it's very difficult at the age of 25 to bring in a client that can pay that at a sustainable rate. And so the question then is, how do I succeed within the contours of the firm? Right? So if you want to go out and start your own thing, I think that makes a lot of sense to get out there. But if you want to succeed in the firm, it's a very different set of skills and a different sort of, I forget the phrase that you use, but the jumping off point, or the jump starting, the power up. And what I would say really for powering up in that context, assuming that you're in a large firm already and you want to be successful in the firm, the thing that really separates junior associates is their willingness to work and their willingness to learn from their mistakes. everyone that comes into the firm is very bright. And it's interesting, what Lily said